Hey guys, Anthony Ace Michaels here with Sleeper Selections. Make sure you go there and get your free week. Also, check out bestsportspickstoday.com. Go there, all the top handicappers are there in the free pick page. They're giving out their best bet of the day, every sport. Make sure you go there and check it out. Last week wasn't too bad. Best bets went 2 and 3, so that's okay. I mean, every once in a while, the beginning of the season is always tough. Did very good in week 1, week 2 and 3, a little bit not so good, but not losing any money right now. That's the main thing. Look at your wallet, keep your bets the same. Week 4 is when we really start to get into the figuring out what teams are really good, what teams are really bad, what defenses match up against what offenses. 3 weeks of watching this, and you could really kind of pick out and figure out what is going on. So that being said, getting right into the games, we missed out on Thursday's game. I wasn't able to do a video. I did have the Bengals winning, but that 3.5 points was kind of tricky, so I had them on the money line, but we can't give ourselves a win for that one because obviously the game's over. But Tua did get hurt. If he didn't get hurt, it might be a different story. Who knows? I just thought that this was their game to win, and the Bengals was in a must-win situation. But getting into the games, I have 3 best bets. We're going to kind of stick with that 3 now and start collecting some money here. The first game on the card, I got the Bears at the Giants. Giants +3. It's a tough game. Giants coming off their first loss of the season. Chicago coming off of a win against Lovie Smith. It's a tough one here. If I was a betting man, I'm not going to bet this game, but I would look at the Bears +3 just for the simple fact that it should be a close game. I do expect the Giants to win, but 3 points in a very close game, probably lower scoring. I like it. Next game is one of my best bets. This one actually should have been the first one, but since I'm in Chicago, they have the Bears on top. This is the 8:30 a.m. Central Time game, so 9:30 Eastern in London. The Vikings at the Saints. Vikings -3, technically on the road. This game's pretty easy for me. That's why it's one of my best bets. I like the Vikings -3. There's a key factor here. Winston is not the greatest quarterbacks, but he probably won't be playing, and if he is, he's going to be banged up, but I hear he's not playing, and Andy Dalton is going to start this game. I don't think Andy Dalton will be able to beat the Vikings defense coming off the bench like this. He is a veteran quarterback, but he's lost a touch over the years, and I'm a Chicago guy, and I could see it. The Saints might not be able to block as much for him. The Saints defense is good, guys. It's very good. So don't expect too explosive if you have fantasy players on the Vikings. Hint, hint. But also, I expect the Vikings to win by more than 3 here as my best bet. Next, the Browns at the Falcons. Browns -1 on the road. All right, here, this another game. We're not sure still, but we got the 4th game coming up for both of these teams. The Falcons are better than what people think. The Browns are probably not as good as their record shows at 2-1. Pretty evenly matched. Usually go with the home team here. I'm not. I'm going with the Browns. I just think they're a little bit better here, and I do think that their running back combo will be the difference maker. Next up, Commanders at Cowboys. Cowboys -3. 9 times out of 10, I would take the Cowboys. The Commanders just ain't looking very good. This matchup favors the Cowboys. Their defense, Cooper Rush, is not who I thought he was. He's actually a very good quarterback, guys. Hopefully he won't turn the ball over in this game. It could be a higher scoring game here. I like to usually take the over here, so I'll probably splash a little bit. Not one of my best bets, but I'm going to take the Cowboys -3 and the over. Seahawks at Lions. Lions -3.5. Got me scratching my head. Lions are favored again. They're -3.5 at home. Something's got to give. They're not that great of a team. They're not as bad as they used to be. The Seahawks are not as good as they used to be. They do have Geno Smith, but 3.5 points is way too juicy. I will take the Seahawks here. Titans at the Colts. Colts minus 3.5 at home. So they look like one of the worst teams in the NFL. They get shut out. They come back. They beat Kansas City. Erase all that out of your heads, guys. I think this is a letdown game. I do think the Titans win this game, and it's 3.5. So I would probably take the money line and maybe the 3.5. Jaguars at Eagles. Eagles minus 6.5. Eagles look pretty good. I mean, I think they're pretty much the class right now in the NFC. The Jaguars are not bad, guys. Everybody thinks Jaguars. They think awful. Trevor Lawrence looks good. I do think this is a wake-up call for the Eagles. Evenly matched game here, 6.5 points, way too many. I'm taking the Jaguars plus 6.5. Jets at Steelers. Steelers minus 3.5. All these 3.5s are very tricky. That half is called a hook, and Vegas usually wins. So be very careful if you're betting the favorite in these 3.5 point spread games. You notice I am going with some of the underdogs in these 3.5s, but in this one in general, I'm not going to bet. But I do think the Steelers win by 4 or more here against the Jets. They're at home. Steel curtain. They just play different there, guys. They get defensive touchdowns. I've been watching it for years and years. It's just something about that stadium, something in the air. I don't know what it is, but Steelers minus 3.5. Bills at Ravens. Somehow the Ravens are underdogs at home. I think here it's 3. So the Bills are minus 3 here. They're coming off a loss. The Dolphins look pretty good. So it was a division game. You know, but this matchup is pretty evenly matched. I actually think it favors the Ravens here. I don't know how they're plus 3 at home. I like the Ravens a lot. I actually am going to circle them as one of my best bets, so I'm going to have 4. I know I say I'm going to have 3, but it's so hard to look at these juicy lines. You're getting 3 points. You could still lose the game with a great team. I can't go against it. I'm taking the Ravens plus the 3. Chargers at Texans. Chargers minus 5.5. I do think that it should be a little bit more, but I know there's injury questions with key players here. Will Herbert play? Will Allen play? Those are the keys to this game. Even if they don't play, I do think Herbert will play, unless I'm not reading something here. He played injured last week. He looked awful. He has another week rest. I know his ribs are injured, but the Texans and Lovie Smith don't look good. I don't think they're going to win a game. Maybe win one. They did get a tie early in the season, but I had them ranked at the bottom of my power rankings at the beginning of the season, and nothing has changed here. Chargers in a must-win situation. I think they win by 7 or more. Let's look at double digits. Chargers as one of my best bets, minus 5.5. Cardinals at Panthers. Panthers minus 1. All right, guys. Looking at this for my 4th best bet of the day. I like the Cardinals a lot. Panthers are at home, but I like the Cardinals. I like what they can do offensively. They're very explosive. Defense is above average. Panthers really have nothing going for them. They are at home here, but in this matchup, key matchup players here, the Cardinals are significant favorites, and they're only... Oh, they are plus 1. So, yeah, we are definitely going with the plus 1. I got the Cardinals, so something must have changed here. But I am sticking with the Cardinals plus the 1. Packers at home against the Patriots. Packers minus 9.5. Patriots are not who they were for sure. The Packers are winning, so if you have a survivor team, they're at home. They're at a 3:25 game on Sunday, prime time. I think the Packers roll here. I wouldn't bet it minus 9.5, but I think they win by double digits or more. Broncos at Raiders. My Raiders 0-3 are minus 2.5 against a Broncos team that's 2-1 and has Russell Wilson. This is a red flags all over it. Everybody's probably going to jump on the Broncos here, except you if you live in Las Vegas. And there's going to be a lot of Raiders money coming in late on this game. I think the Raiders here will win the game. 2.5 is awfully tricky. Not a game I'm going to bet, but if you are going to bet it, take the money line here, maybe minus 130, 140. Chiefs at Buccaneers. Buccaneers -1. Buccaneers just have looked terrible. Brady is showing his age. I think that Mahomes comes in here, statement game, wins it. I like the Chiefs here plus the 1 in the Sunday night game. That's going to be a thriller. Monday night, same expectations here. Going to be a thriller. Rams at the 49ers. 49ers -1.5. This is the revenge game. Game I've been looking forward to, had marked on my calendar. Jimmy G is in, which I was hoping for. I think the 49ers win this game. Minus the 1.5 is tricky. Why not just take the minus 120 and don't have to worry about winning by 1 and losing the bet? All right, guys, this is Anthony Ace Michaels from Sleeper Selections and BestSportsPicksToday.com. Check out both of those sites, guys, and I'll see you next week. Let's cash in.